A year from now, you'll look back at 2025 with one of two feelings: relief or regret. Not because life was easy or hard, but because of how you responded to it. 2026 is not a blank page. It's a response to the habits you keep, the decisions you delay, the courage you practice or avoid. Most people don't ruin their future with one big mistake. They do it quietly. They wake up tired. They promise change tomorrow. They repeat the same week 52 times. And then they're shocked when nothing feels different. If 2025 felt fast, confusing, or unfulfilled, you're not alone. Millions of people feel the same tension. They worked hard, but not clearly. They stayed busy, but not aligned. They consumed motivation, but built no systems. The result is a strange exhaustion. Not physical, but emotional. You're tired of starting over. Tired of feeling behind. Tired of knowing you could do more, but not knowing where to begin. Here's the promise of this video. By the end, you'll know how to turn 2026 into a clear upgrade from 2025. Not by pressure, not by hustle, but by precision. You'll learn what to stop repeating, what to keep, and what to rebuild. This is not about becoming a different person. It's about becoming a more intentional one. The first truth is uncomfortable but freeing. 2026 will not be better just because the calendar changes. It will be better only if you change what you repeat. Most people carry last year's habits into the new year and expect a different outcome. Same sleep schedule, same distractions, same excuses, different year, same life. Progress doesn't come from motivation. It comes from subtraction and structure. So before you plan 2026, you must audit 2025. Not emotionally. Honestly, what drained your energy this year? What gave you momentum? What did you promise yourself? And ignore. Growth starts with truth, not optimism. Quick pause. If you lived 2026 exactly like you lived 2025, would that excite you? The second principle separates wishful thinking from real change. You don't need bigger goals. You need clearer priorities. Most people set too many goals. Health, money, career, skills, relationships, content, business. Everything matters, so nothing does. Your brain can't chase 6 directions at once. High performers choose one main theme per season of life. One skill to build. One area to stabilize. One habit to master. Focus creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. 2026 becomes better when it becomes simpler. Ask yourself this: what is the one area that, if improved, would make everything else easier? The third idea changes how discipline actually works. Stop relying on motivation. Start designing defaults. Motivation is emotional. Defaults are mechanical. You don't rise to motivation every day. You fall to whatever is easiest. That's why systems beat willpower. If your phone is the first thing you touch in the morning, your day starts reactive. If your tasks are not planned, your energy gets wasted on decisions. If your environment is noisy, your mind will be too. Design defaults that pull you forward automatically. Fixed wake-up time, clear morning routine, prepared workspace. Make the right choice the easy choice. Short question: what behavior happens automatically in your life right now? The fourth shift is subtle but powerful. Your year is decided by your ordinary days, not your best ones. Most people wait for perfect days to feel productive. Those days rarely come. Progress is built on boring consistency. Reading even when it's dull. Training even when you're tired. Working even when no one is watching. You don't need epic days. You need repeatable ones. 5 average days beat 1 perfect day and 4 wasted ones. 2026 becomes better when you stop chasing intensity and start respecting rhythm. Another pause. Are your expectations realistic or emotional? The fifth principle is where many people break. Your environment is stronger than your intentions. You can't out-discipline a bad environment. Notifications shape attention. Clutter shapes thinking. People shape behavior. If you spend your days in chaos, your mind will mirror it. High-level change begins with low-level adjustments. Clean your space. Simplify your phone. Limit noise. This is not aesthetics. It's psychology. Your environment is either training you or draining you. And now, something most people never hear. 2026 won't feel better if you're still trying to prove yourself. Many people live in performance mode, trying to look successful, trying to look busy, trying to look confident. But performance without purpose leads to burnout. The real upgrade is internal. Doing things because they align, not because they impress. Let that sink in. If no one could see your progress, would you still do the work? Now let's talk about time, the resource everyone wastes quietly. If it's not scheduled, it's not serious. Dreams without time blocks are just thoughts. People say they want change, but never give it space in their calendar. Learning, training, deep work, reflection. These don't happen accidentally. Your calendar reveals your true priorities. If someone copied your schedule for a year, would they end up where you want to be? 2026 improves when you protect time like money. Schedule growth first. Let everything else adjust. Next comes a reframing that reduces pressure instantly. Stop measuring your life by results. Start measuring it by alignment. Results are delayed. Alignment is daily. Did you act according to your values today? Yes or no? That's progress. When alignment becomes your metric, anxiety fades. You stop comparing. You stop rushing. You trust the process. And when you trust the process, you stop quitting halfway. Here's a powerful interruption. If success was guaranteed, what would you stop procrastinating? Now let's address failure properly. Failure is not proof that you're incapable. It's proof that you're experimenting. The only real failure is repeating the same mistake without reflection. Every setback contains data. What worked? What didn't? What will you adjust? People who grow fast don't avoid mistakes. They shorten recovery time. They adapt. 2026 becomes better when you stop taking failure personally and start using it strategically. Now the mindset shift that changes everything. Discipline is not about force. It's about identity. You don't wake up disciplined. You become someone who does disciplined things. Identity comes from repetition. Every small promise you keep builds self-trust. Every promise you break erodes it. Confidence is not loud. It's quiet consistency. If you want a better year, stop asking, "What do I feel like doing?" Start asking, "What would my future self thank me for?" That question rarely lies. Picture yourself at the end of 2026. Not richer, not famous, but calmer, clearer, more in control. Waking up without panic. Working without chaos. Resting without guilt. That life is built daily, not dramatically. And here's the final truth. You don't need a perfect plan. You need a committed direction. Direction plus consistency beats ambition plus chaos. 2026 doesn't need you to be extreme. It needs you to be honest. Honest about your habits. Honest about your distractions. Honest about what you're avoiding. And brave enough to start small. Today. Because time doesn't respond to intention. It responds to action. There's one final truth that decides whether 2026 becomes better than 2025, or just another repeat. Most people wait for clarity before they act. But clarity doesn't come first. Action does. You don't wake up one day suddenly disciplined. You don't suddenly feel confident enough to change. You don't magically become focused. You move first. Then clarity follows. The brain learns through evidence, not intention. Every time you act despite resistance, your mind updates its identity. I am someone who shows up. I am someone who finishes. I am someone who doesn't quit when it's boring. This is how confidence is built, quietly. Here's a short interruption. What if the reason 2025 felt heavy was because you kept waiting to feel ready? Now let's talk about momentum, the most underrated force in life. Momentum is fragile at the start, but unstoppable once moving. That's why starting small is not weakness, it's intelligence. One walk, one page, one honest conversation, one focused hour. Momentum doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for consistency. And once momentum exists, discipline becomes lighter. You don't push yourself anymore. You follow the direction you already set. 2026 becomes better when you stop restarting and start continuing. Another truth most people ignore: your future does not need intensity. It needs patience. Real change feels slow while it's happening. That's why most people quit right before progress compounds. They underestimate time. They overestimate effort. But the quiet months, the boring days, the invisible progress, that's where transformation lives. Ask yourself this: are you willing to stay consistent even when no one notices? Because that's where real power is built. Now let's reframe success completely. Success is not a moment. It's a state where your actions match your values, where your days feel intentional, where you trust yourself again. Many people chase outcomes but lose self-trust along the way. They break promises. They restart constantly. They doubt themselves. The real upgrade from 2025 to 2026 is not external. It's internal integrity. Doing what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's quiet, even when it's slow. Integrity builds peace. Peace builds clarity. Clarity builds progress. Now imagine this version of you in 2026. Not rushing, not reacting, not overwhelmed, but grounded. Someone who doesn't panic at setbacks. Someone who doesn't rely on motivation. Someone who knows, I'll handle this. That person is not far away. They are built by small daily decisions. And here's the final shift. Stop asking how to make 2026 perfect. Start asking how to make it honest. Honest effort. Honest priorities. Honest routines. A year lived honestly will always beat a year lived impressively. You don't need to win every day. You just need to show up most days. Because time doesn't reward intensity. It rewards consistency. And now, the last question. When 2026 ends, what do you want to thank yourself for? Starting earlier? Quitting distractions? Keeping promises? Choosing discipline over comfort? That decision begins now. Not next week. Not next year. Now, if this video helped you see your future more clearly, take a moment to like it. It helps this message reach people who need it. Subscribe if you want calm, practical guidance for building a better life without noise. And comment below, what is the one commitment you're making for 2026, starting today? Because a better year doesn't arrive. It is constructed, quietly, deliberately, by the choices you repeat. And the next choice is yours.